They will watch a joint counter-terrorism exercise by British and US Special Forces at a military base before travelling to the Prime Minister's country residence for talks. A number of major airports in the UK are failing to meet the needs of disabled passengers. That's according to a new report by the Civil Aviation Authority. Among them, Manchester Airport was given the lowest possible poor rating. Some passengers on incoming flights were left waiting on planes for more than an hour before assistance arrived. It says it's now working with the CAA to make improvements. Police in Londonderry say there were prolonged and sustained attacks on police officers throughout the night in the city. 2 improvised explosive devices and 74 petrol bombs were thrown at police Land Rovers. 3 men have been arrested, 1 for attempted murder. Last night was the 6th night of trouble in Derry. The government should do more to help police officers dealing with the recent nerve agent poisonings in Amesbury and Salisbury. That's according to the Police and Crime Commissioner for Wiltshire. Angus McPherson says he has been assured by ministers that the current situation was under review. However, he said rest days and annual leave had been cancelled and a new approach was now needed. A group of volunteer British divers who helped save 12 boys and their football coach who were trapped in a cave in Thailand have arrived back in the UK. Speaking to reporters at Heathrow Airport, they said they weren't heroes, but just a group of people who had a unique set of skills.
This is completely uncharted, unprecedented territory. So nothing like this has been done. So of course there were doubts, but I knew that we had a good team with good support from the Thai authorities and the national caving community and rescue organisations. So we had the best that we could do to make a plan work.
Great job by them. That's a summary of the latest BBC News. Now let's turn to sport. Here's Holly.
Thanks. Well, coming up, it might be the worst kept secret in football, but Chelsea have officially confirmed the departure of Antonio Conte. And he leaves after just 2 years at the club, having won the Premier League in 2017. But he did fail to repeat that success last season, with the Blues slipping to 5th. In a brief statement, Chelsea say they wish him every success in his future career. And that news will be far from the England squad's minds right now. All 23 players back in training this morning ahead of their World Cup third-place playoff match with Belgium tomorrow. And away from football, Serena Williams is into her 10th Wimbledon final just 10 months after giving birth. And she'll face Angelique Kerber in the final tomorrow. And today, it's all about the men's semi-finals day at Wimbledon in a repeat of the 2011 final. Rivals Rafa Nadal and Novak Djokovic will face each other on centre court this afternoon in what will be their 52nd meeting in all competitions. Well, that's all the sport for now. I'll, of course, have more on the BBC News channel throughout the day.
Thanks, Holly. Now let's return to that top story that we've been speaking throughout the morning about that interview that President Trump has been giving to the Sun newspaper. He's spoken to the Sun's political editor, Tom Newton-Dunn. Let's have a watch.
Well, if they do a deal like that, it will most likely, because we'll be dealing with the European Union instead of dealing with the UK. So it will probably kill the deal with. If they do that, their trade deal with the U.S. will probably not be made.
What did you mean?
Because we have enough difficulty with the European Union. You know, we're cracking down right now on the European Union because they have not treated the United States fairly on trade. No, if they do that, I would say that would probably end a major trade relationship with the United States. I would have done it much differently. I actually told Theresa May how to do it, but she didn't agree with it. She didn't listen to me.
What did she say?
She didn't listen. No, I told her how to do it. That will be up to her to say. But I told her how to do it. She wanted to go a different route.
So you would be prepared to walk away if they didn't give you the right terms?
Oh, absolutely. I think what's going on is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's too long. You know, deals that take too long are never good ones.
What did you mean by the UK
when a
being
deal
too long?
takes so long, it's somehow, they never work out very well. I did give Theresa, who I like, I did give her my views on what she should do and how she should negotiate. And she didn't follow those views. I would actually say she probably went the opposite way. If you really look, she probably went the opposite way. That's fine, she should negotiate the best way she knows how. But it's too bad what's going on. Well, I think the deal that she's striking is not what the people voted on. It's a much different deal than the people voted on. It was not the deal that was in the referendum. I've just been hearing this over the last 3 days. I guess you've been just hearing about it over the last 3 days. I know they have a lot of resignations, so a lot of people don't like it. No, but it'll definitely affect trade with the United States, unfortunately in a negative way. Let me tell you, he's a very talented guy. I was very saddened to see that he was leaving government, and I hope he goes back in at some point, because I think he's a great representative for your country. I was very surprised and saddened that he was getting out of government, and you lost some other very good people. Well, I'm not pitting one against the other. I'm just saying I think he'd be a great prime minister. I think he's got what it takes, and I think he's got the right attitude to be a great prime minister.
On Britain's defence spending, Jim Mattis wrote to his counterpart in the UK to say it's no longer good enough for the UK to be spending just 2%. You're a major ally. You need to considerably increase it above 2%. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that 100%. No, 2% is not enough. 2%, and some countries don't pay that.
No.
And yet the United States pays 4.2% is the actual number, not 3.5%. It's 4.2% of a much larger GDP. In fact, the GDP since I've taken over has doubled and tripled. So it's it's a very unfair number. No, I think I'm very impressed that he sent that letter. I think that's an exact right letter. I think all the countries in Europe should pay 4%, not 2%. And many of them, like Germany, is only paying 1.1%. And so we protect Germany, and they're only paying 1%, 1.1%. It's very unfair. My father Germany, my mother Scotland. So I have great love for countries in Europe. I think what's happened to Europe is a shame. I think the immigration, allowing the immigration to take place in Europe is a shame. I think it changed the fabric of Europe. And unless you act very quickly, it's never going to be what it was, and I don't mean that in a positive way. So I think allowing millions and millions of people to come in to Europe is very, very sad. I think you're losing your culture.
First meeting with the Queen, are you nervous? She's a huge, even larger than you in terms of a global superstar.
She is a tremendous woman.
Yeah.
I really look forward to meeting her. I think she represents her country so well. If you think of it, for so many years she's represented her country. She's really never made a mistake. You don't see anything embarrassing. You don't. She's just an incredible woman. My wife is a tremendous fan of hers. She's got a great and beautiful grace about her. No, I look forward. My mother loved the Queen.
Yes.
My mother coming from Scotland, and she'd come back every year religiously, go to Scotland. My mother loved the Queen. She thought the Queen was tremendous. Anytime the Queen was on television, my mother wanted to watch it.
And that was President Donald Trump speaking to Tom Newton-Dunn, the Sun's political editor. Well, you'll have noticed that I've moved out of our studio and now on the roof of New Broadcasting House in London. We've got a view right down to where many thousands of protesters are expected in the next few hours. If I take a little bit of a sneaky peek over there, I can see that people are gathering already. It's of course because many people are going to be protesting about President Donald Trump's visit to London. Large demonstrations seen yesterday. We know, of course, that the capital's mayor, Sadiq Khan, has clashed with Donald Trump in the past. He's urged people today, yes, of course, protest, but protest peacefully. We want to show a responsible side to London. The President, meanwhile, seems quite unfazed by everything that's going on. He said that the British people like him a lot. We've got a number of people here with us to speak to us about why they've come out today. Just go down the line if you would, and as I lose myself into the pebbles, introduce yourselves.
I'm Sultan Ibrahim, Vice President NUS.
I'm Asad Ribbon, I'm Executive Director of the Human Rights Organisation War and Peace.
My name is Amru Al-Qadi, or Glamru, and I run a drag troupe called Denner.
I am Dave Sargent, I'm Director of Comms of the Bow Group think tank.
And I'm Charlie Wolf.
And you are a voice of?
Well, of the right-wing America, I guess, so I'm talking what the Trump supporters would probably say.
Zamzam, I know that you're going to be out protesting today. Just explain for people why that's so important to you.
I think it's a bit loud up here. I think it's incredibly important to show our right to protest and defend our right to protest. That's why hundreds and thousands of us will be going to take in the streets today. And I think what needs to be recognised is that that state visit shouldn't be given to an individual who has shown complete disregard.
This isn't a state visit.
I mean, whether you call it a state visit or not, it's more or less a state visit. And I think forcibly getting our Queen to shake his hand and bringing him down to this country when in actual fact. He has shown complete disregard, and it's the same individual that has boasted about assaulting women, and that's the same individual that Theresa May has been walking hand in hand with to get off this trade deal, which in actual fact we know won't happen.
I want to bring